Hello, everyone. So this decade 2021 to 2030, it is known as this UN Decade on Ecosystem Restoration. And prior to that, this 2011 till 2020, that was the decade for biodiversity. Okay. So right now, this COP15 for United Nations Biodiversity Conference is going on. Okay. Convention on Biodiversity, that is also the one of the sister conference or organizations that took place in 1992, the Earth Summit, that famous Rio de Janeiro. Okay, so in this conference, the Ganga project is declared as World Restoration Flagships. So there are right now 10 flagships, restoration flagships, and Ganga project is one of them. So that will make it eligible to receive UN-backed promotion, advice, or funding. Okay, it is selected under this UN Decade on Ecosystem Restoration. Okay, so this is a movement coordinated by United Nations Environment Program and United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization, the special agency of the United Nations. So UN Framework Convention on Climate Change, along with two sister conventions, and that is Convention on Biological Diversity and the Convention to Combat Desertification. It took place in Earth Summit. Okay, so first COP, Conference of Parties, related to this Convention on Biological Diversity, it took place at Bahamas. Okay, and right now this COP15, it consists of two phases. Okay, so first phase already took place in China, and the second phase right now is going on this at Canada, Montreal. Okay, so these 10 flagships, which is related to this decade, okay, World Restoration Project. So its overall area is bigger than Myanmar, France, or Somalia. And basic objective is to restore the nature, okay, in order to prevent this planetary crisis, such as climate change or nature and biodiversity loss, pollution and waste. These are the triple planetary crisis. Okay. So you should read these things at least once, so that if it comes in prelims, and you will have at least basic idea, so that you that will click during the real examinations. Okay. So let us say this Tri-National Atlantic Forest Pact to protect and restore the forest in Brazil, Paraguay, and Argentina, or the Central American Dry Corridor, or the Altin Dala Conservation Initiative, Kazakhstan, to restore the steppe, semi-desert, and desert ecosystems. In Africa, also savanna protection for the savanna. So that is declared as World Restoration Flagships. Okay. So funding is very important. UPSC has asked so many times about funding, and particularly if any project or programs is launched. So how the funding is there, and the success of the project depends on that funding mechanism. Okay, so this multi-partner trust fund, it is related to UN Decade on Ecosystem Restoration. Now there are three main objectives of the Convention on Biological Diversity. Okay, so the conservation of biological diversity, first one, and the second one is the sustainable use of the components of biological diversity, and third one is the fair and equitable sharing of the benefits arising out of the utilization of the genetic resources. So the Nagoya Protocol and this Cartagena Protocol, these are part of this Convention on Biological Diversity. Okay. Now, 22nd May has been celebrated as this International Day for Biodiversity. Okay. So in December 2000, it was declared by United Nations General Assembly. So in as far as this IDV is concerned, we must remember the theme for each year. So particularly for the previous 2 years. So 2022 is the theme, building a shared future for all life, and 2021 we are part of the solution. So that was the theme. Now winter session is going on. So legislative organ, one of the important organ of the state, and this judiciary, Supreme Court, is the one of the important organ of the states. Like there are three organs of the state: executive, judiciary, and legislature. Okay. So winter session is the smallest session among all the three sessions that we have, like budget session and the monsoon session, and then the winter session. Okay. So yesterday this New Delhi International Arbitration Center was renamed as India International Arbitration Center. So the bill was passed, okay, to rename it as India International Arbitration Center, because there is already Delhi Arbitration Center, okay. So this will include the conduct of other forms of ADR besides alternative dispute resolutions besides arbitration, so such as this conciliation or mediation, okay. Now in judiciary there is this case is going on between those two Shiv Sena factions. So the constitutional bench of the judges are deciding this case. It is related to anti-defection. So 10th schedule is the anti-defection law, which comes through 52nd Constitutional Amendment Act 1985. So, and again, it was amended in through 91st Constitutional Amendment Act 2003 in order to meet the prevailing situations of that time. But again, there has been this defection. So you should remember this Navam Rabia case related to power of the speaker or deputy speaker to initiate disqualification proceedings. Okay. So you must read about it in detail. Actually, this case is related to Arunachal Pradesh. Okay. Now, as far as state politics is concerned, this Kerala has been in news. State legislature has passed these two bills, and the governor has not given it assent. He might send it to the president. So there are 4 alternatives available to governor under Article 200. So the governor might give his assent to the bill, okay, or he may withhold his assent to the bill. He will return the bill if the bill is not a money bill for the consideration of the state legislature only once. So if the bill is again passed and returned to him, so he is obliged to give the assent. And he can reserve the bill for the consideration of the president also, okay. So he will give the presentation before the president, okay. And if the bill is related to, let us say, a high court, then he must reserve the bill for the consideration of the president. So there is no time frame for the governor to give the presentation before the president or send the bill to the president, okay. Now the education is as a subject is in the concurrent list, and sports it is the state subject. Now there has been this border disputes between China and India that's going on, and in Tawang sector there has been clash. So there are, as far as this China and India are concerned, there are this eastern sector, then middle sector, and then western sector. So in eastern sector, this McMahon line provides the demarcation about the boundary. Okay, in middle sector, both country has exchanged the maps, but in western sector there has been claim lines. Okay, and there is this line of actual control. So that is a concept that is not clearly demarcated even today. And while LOC, the boundary between India and Pakistan, that is clearly demarcated, okay, line of control. So that has international legitimacy because of the signing between the two Director General of the military operations of these two countries. So China, in fact, has been showing as an assertive neighbor, and there has been change in Indian attitude also. So recently, this snow leopard counter operation. So south of the Pangong Lake, Rejangla or Rechinla, where this operation took place, so by India to achieve the disengagement of the China on the north bank. China in the past has denied the visa to the former CM of Arunachal Pradesh, this Dorji Khandu, or it has issued the staple visa to the residents of J&K, raised questions about the former PM Manmohan Singh visit to Arunachal Pradesh. So it has many times attacked the Indian territorial integrity, okay, sovereignty. So that's why, and with the assumption that the small skirmishes or the coercion will not be rebuted back. Okay. But right now there has been change in stances. Now there is a MoU signed between this Ministry of Agriculture and the Space Department. So this Krishi decision support system, there is using satellite system and data. So with the integration with MOSTEC and Bhuvan of ISRO and the systems of Indian Council of Agricultural Research. So ISRO will be using the Reset 1A data and the Vedas of the Department of Space. So what is MOSTEC? It basically deals with the meteorology, oceanography, and tropical water cycles. So that will, of course, help the agricultural sector in making real decision making. So Veda is a platform of the data infrastructure and guidance. If you will see on the net, you will go just and there is website. So Reset 1A, 1A was launched in 2012. Okay. So you can see its detail. Okay. Now there has been this one is also in the news, NPK, nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. So its ideal NPK ratio is 4:2:1. That might be asked in prelims. And then because of the over application of this diammonium phosphate due to its underpricing, so it happens in agricultural sector. Okay. Thank you.